So this was the mission yesterday, right? The mission was to guess the question that best matches the section. All this information, probably you're thinking, hey teacher, why are you teaching us this? Why is this working? You know? And I'm gonna tell you, trust the process, okay? We are building something important here. It's like Karate Kid when they were cleaning no, painting the things. Like, why this is important for karate? Just wait, keep painting. Keep painting, continue. This is the same thing. Every time you are missing an information, I am going to help you by asking these questions. That's the reason it's so important to know what is the corresponding question to these phrases, because then I can help you with my questions, guide you through the sentence or the section of the sentence that you forgot. For example, if my question includes a when, you can guess that we are talking about an adverb or a prepositional phrase. If my question is a what, probably I'm using a noun, or my answer is a noun, or my answer is a verb. If my question is a how something, probably the teacher is asking about an adjective. We need an adjective in the sentence. So all this exercise yesterday and today and 2 days ago was precisely to get you conscious about the type of questions that can help you identify information that you're missing. Okay. So I want to know if you have questions. Did you understand the mechanic yesterday? What was the whole thing about?
Yes.
Right? What about Isaac? Do you have any question? Do you understand everything?
Okay. No, I think that I got it. Uh, Even it's a little complicated. Well, sometimes I find it a little complicated.
Well,
Yes,
making
I
questions.
got the idea. Yeah.
Great, 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 great. I know that making the question is a little bit challenging, but don't worry, you are not going to make the question. Actually, the question making comes in the next level, right?
Okay. Okay.
Now you do the opposite. I forget some information and you need to ask the question, you know? But in this case,
Yes.
I'm going to help you on the other way. I'm going to ask the question and you are going to tell me the phrase that you are missing.
Okay.
That's the thing. Now,
Then it sounds easy.
it sounds easy. Perfect. Now, we said that all this information is technically including the connector before, no? The connector before, in this case, is an adverb, and it makes all the question the second complement, let's say, of this sentence, right? What would be the question if the answer is before it was making more money than all the other apps in both Apple's and Google's App Store? Who can tell me?
I think that we need. Well, that's a question. I think that before is I'll say I forgot the name of this. Oh, is I come on.
What?
I sorry, I forgot the group family. Is it an adjective? No, it's not an adjective. It's a
Adjectives are orange.
yes.
It's an adverb.
Yes, an adverb.
Colors, they help. It's an adverb. Mhm. So then what question corresponds to, or what would be the question word?
When?
When? Before. Because the answer is before. Therefore, we have the first information here is when. Good thing. Okay.
Today I am paying attention.
What a difference, right? What a difference. And then, what happens to this?
Yesterday I was working. Sorry.
Well, yeah. And 2 days ago, you had a visitor, a distraction, a fly.
Yes. My work is a red flag.
Okay, and then what's up? What's the next question?
Mm. Mm. When it was
I think that we need the verb, no? When was it making? No. When was it?
Well, be careful because you are using.
The same words.
Aha, exactly. You're using the same words. This section is the context to the other
Yes.
sentence.
when Pokemon Go was released.
When Pokemon Go was released, the answer to that is 2013, and we don't have this information.
Ah. Mm.
Another. Why are you lost? What is the
I
difficult
think
part?
that I'm confusing because, well, I'm confusing the question because I'm trying to make a question. Um, but no, I'm not sure how, when.
What is the question? What are you
What
confused?
what is a complete sentence? Is after Pokemon Go was released in the US,
Huh?
uh, it,
It.
it took less than a day before. Okay, okay. I got it.
Correct.
Okay. Then before.
Ratito.
Kitty in English.
Mm.
The
Okay.
answer should be this.
Yes, before
When
it was
was it?
making. And what happened before? When I think that is when did Did it? When did? No. When? I think I try to relate to the previous phrase. So I think that we need to use the words took and the comparative less than a day. No.
Yes, yes, yes,
So,
yes.
but
You're
I'm
so
not trying
close.
to. Yes, I'm not trying to create a question, but let me think.
You're so close, brother.
Before it was making more
When
money than all the other apps. The
there's another.
before it was making more.
When was it making more money in less than a day? No?
When was it making more money? In less than a day.
No.
You combine the two information. The two sentences.
Sí.
But you're very close. Also, you cannot use the same words of the answer. Like, it's like,
Mhm,
imagine if you say, "What's your name, Jimena?" It's Jimena, you know.
mhm,
So you are using the same information of the answer.
mhm.
Before, um,
Why is this so complicated?
I'm not
Ask
sure.
me questions. Ask me questions. I can help you.
Well, I'm not sure before it was making more money. When uh, is it is it correct the word when? Oh,
Is the word when correct? Yes.
yes. Well, yes, we are talking about a moment.
Uh huh. And the word before gives you time.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
So the question is where?
When? Oh, come on. When?
Okay.
Okay.
All the section that says before it was making more money than all the other apps in both Apple's and Google's App Store. What is it giving reference to? This is the context for what?
Or something that happened uh, less than a day.
Something that happened less than a day. Yes, you are so close. To replace
Okay.
with the verb happen. What happened?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, could you repeat that?
To replace the verb. You said
The verb
something
happened.
happened. Uh-huh. And what happened?
Okay. Uh,
And what
uh,
happened?
took.
Took. And what took?
Uh, okay. It.
It. So here's your subject and your verb.
Sorry.
That's your subject and your verb.
Okay, when I think that it must be in past, no? Did
Good. Uh-huh.
when did it no when did it take? When did it
Mm-hmm.
take? When did it take? When did it take?
Take.
Wait, when did it take less than a day? I'm not sure because I feel that I need to use the same words like making more money, no? But no, do I need?
You don't.
No?
Mhm. Your sentence was right.
I feel that it doesn't make sense and I need to something more, no?
Say it, and then I tell you why it doesn't exist.
When did it take less than a day?
Less than a day. When did it take less than a day? Parenthesis.
Uh-huh.
To make more money.
When did it,
Assuming that I know the second information,
okay.
you can ask the question how when did it take? You see?
When did it take less than a day to make more
Correct.
money because you already have the information in the second sentence?
Exactly.
Okay. Yes.
Exactly. Let's imagine that you forgot the word before.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would need to use I would need to use
When?
the same question.
Yeah.
When did it take less than a day? Before. Before he was making more money.
Okay, okay. It was not easy. I feel a little confusing.
Yes?
Yeah.
Why is that? Tell me.
I'm not sure. I feel that when did it take less than a day? I think that I'm not connecting those sentences. I'm trying I think that I'm using they like a separate ideas. So I can I find it difficult to connect them.
But why separate ideas? What do you mean?
I'm not sure. I think that, for example, when did it take less than a day? I feel that I don't have like a noun, a subject. So I know that is
Oh,
it, but I feel that I need like additional information because if I use it, I feel that even I have the context, I'm not like relating
okay.
the question to the first phrase.
If you feel that there is no connection, that the pronoun has no context, no prior context, then don't use the pronoun. What is the objective of pronouns is to replace words to avoid repetition.
Yeah.
If here we are not repeating anything, better use the subject. What is the subject that we are replacing here?
Um, uh, it is replacing after I'm not sure. I think that is referring to a period of time, no? A period of time?
Can be, but also Pokemon Go,
When did Pokemon Go take less than a day? Okay, yes, it sounds better.
right? Because who
Yeah,
took the time? The app.
yeah, okay.
So this it can correspond to the situation and can also correspond to Pokemon Go. The information that you have here.
Okay, yes.
And it's exactly the same. That's why you felt it disconnected because you didn't have something to replace. If you don't have anything to replace, then locate the subject that you're talking about.
Yes, that makes things easier for me.
That's right. Check it out. Ta-da! Easy or difficult?
Sorry, did you say something? I had
Is
some
is it
issues with the
easy or difficult?
difficult.
Yes. Oh yes. Don't worry. This is going to be my job. I'm going to ask the questions, and you are going to answer the questions. Whenever you don't find the information, the right information, I'm going to help you with it.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm back in 1 minute. I'm going to open my door. Okay. So then, now that we have all that information, let's try building our own phrases. We are going to understand the video that we have over here. Right? Here you have the vocabulary. Here you have the video. The first line, according to the sentence, was after Pokemon Go was released in the US, it took less than a day before it was making more money than all the other apps in both Apple's and Google's App Store. Isaac, you are going to continue after this line. Ready?
Okay, after Pokemon Go released in the US, it was yes.
1, 2, 3, action.
After Pokemon Go was released in the US, it took less than a day before it was making more money than all the other apps in both Apple's and Google's app stores.
It's already earned $14 million in revenue since launching last Wednesday. Not even a full week.
But users didn't have to pay a cent for the game. All that money was coming from optional purchases people were making as they played.
I'm wondering if we should transcript the person speaking in the news or just Joss. I think that would be useful to transcript the guy too. So you're gonna give the guy's speech, right? Let's try again.
Yes.
More money than all the other apps in both Apple's and Google's app stores.
It's already earned $14 million in revenue since launching last Wednesday.
Action.
I think that he said it's already done 14. Oh, see, yes, it's the part of the guy, no?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like, it's already done 14, 40 or 14, I think.
Okay.
10 million. That's it, million. Don't mind one, no, that's it.
Something. Okay. Good. What's missing?
Sorry. What?
Again, what's missing?
Uh, the, 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 the noun?
The noun. Noun is a word family.
The subject?
The
It is?
subject. Excellent. It is already. Is the structure it is already done exists? Does it exist?
It is already, no, I think that because we have is, it should be a verb with ing.
Exactly.
It is already doing?
Is it already doing? Does it match what you heard?
No,
And then what you should change?
the verb. No?
Hmm. It depends on what matches with you, what you heard.
Okay.
Second repetition?
Yes, please.
Second repetition.
Just give me a minute.
Oh, okay, okay.
My kitten stole my pen. Here I have another one. Okay, ready?
My kid installed my pen. That's adorable. Okay, let's go again.
It's already earned $14 million in revenue since launching last Wednesday.
Okay, I think that it's not a verb. It's already earned.
Exactly.
It's already earned with ed at the end.
Give me your pronunciation.
Earned.
Very good.
Okay.
Remember the D
And
sounds different in English. D.
and earned.
Excellent.
Okay. 14 million in revenue. Revenue.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Okay, my question here is gonna be when?
When?
When did it earn 14 million in revenue?
No, just they mentioned something. I think since, but I didn't get the rest now.
You heard the word since, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And because you heard the word since, you need to check your context. Something that happened to Jesse yesterday, for example, was that we were having problems with the question that corresponded to the verb, right?
Okay.
Why? Because we were not matching the context of ing with the question, the position of the auxiliary,
Mm-hmm.
plus the context of the time expression. The time expression determines what tense you are going to use.
Okay. Yes.
Because if you say after Pokemon Go was released, we are speaking in past, then you have a
Yes.
possibility to speak in past. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
the same thing in the same tip goes here. If you heard the verb, the time expression since, what is the form of the verb when you use since? Think about an example using since.
For example, driving the since I know with well, I was thinking something like I've been taking English class since I was 15 years old.
Perfect. Give me the structure of I've been.
If what? Of the structure of what?
The example that you just said, I've been.
I've been. The structure is like the subject, the auxiliary have, and the verb in past participle.
Ta-da! You
Huh?
match, and naturally you match the word since with this structure.
Yeah.
Which, if you study my material, is structure number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your structure here.
Is it? It have.
Oh, come on.
No, it has.
Ah, it has
Has
already earned.
already. Mm-hmm, it has. It has
That's the
already.
reason you understand.
It's
It's
it's like the question.
exactly. There you go. You see
Okay.
how important it is to match the time expressions with the formula?
Yeah.
That can help you. That can help you. If you, the first thing that you need to catch is the verb. But now the second part that can help you confirm the verb is the time expression. Not the subject, not the next information, is the time expression when is the verb happening. That makes
Okay.
sense, you know?
Yes. Yes. Actually, it helped to correct in some parts.
Mhm. That's what you need to do after today. Whenever you have a question in the listening, in the exam, you will be like, but the person said since, or the person says yesterday, or the person said 2 days ago. So now you can understand what is the structure that you probably need.
Yes. Okay, yes, it's really useful.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's go back. Let's listen again. Let's check.
Okay.
Yes.
After Pokemon
In revenue. It's already earned $14 million in revenue since launching last Wednesday.
Since launching last Wednesday.
Very good. There you have it, brother. Your sentence is totally correct. Totally correct, man. Good job. In 3 shots, you see? It was not necessary. Easy as that. Very good. Jimena, your turn. Hello, Jessie, are you there?
Hello, teacher. Yes.
Hi. Is this difficult? Does it look difficult?
Yes.
You are an honest person. That's very nice.
Yes, I guess.
Okay. Well, anyway, don't worry. Let's try to check how much we can get.
Yes.
Okay. Jime, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
You're next.
I mean-
Ready?
Okay.
Not even a full week.
but you
That's. Let's continue with just fun. I'm gonna give you the next part. Launch in the last Wednesday. Not even a full week. Okay? You're gonna continue with the next part, okay?
Yes.
$15 million in revenue since launching last Wednesday. Not even a full week.
but users didn't have to pay a cent for the game.
But users. Hmm. Could you repeat the audio, please?
Sure. Did you detect the verb?
No,
Before you repeat? Oh,
not yet.
okay. That's your priority, eh? Number one.
Uh-huh.
Before the subject,
Okay.
first get the verb. Second repetition.
Launching last Wednesday. Not even a full week.
But users didn't have to pay a cent for the game.
Sent?
No, sent in this case is not a verb. Sent with C, not with S.
Ah,
Do you know what is sent with C?
no.
Yeah, you know what is sent. 50 cents.
Money, no?
It's money.
Sent. Ah,
$1
okay, okay.
equals
Yes,
100
cent.
cents.
A cent.
Ah,
A half of a dollar.
a half of a portion of a dollar, because it's not a half. A half
Ah,
is
okay,
50
a cent.
cents.
50 cent is a half
cent.
of a dollar.
It's a half of a dollar.
Okay, yeah.
Okay? Repetition.
Launching last Wednesday. Not even a full week.
But users didn't have to pay a cent for the game.
Has, but users has pay?
Very good. Has paid like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very nice. This is the phonetic that you are listening. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Find the mistake.
Paid.
Paid. Very good.
Has paid. Paid what?
Find another mistake.
Has. No has.
Ah, exactly. You cannot continue. You cannot continue listening if you don't get these mistakes right, because that means that you are not understanding the video. You are only listening phonetics, like you learn in good learning, but you are not learning or understanding the video. What is they saying? You
Okay.
have the word but.
Uh-huh.
The word but contradicts or makes another
Makes a contradiction.
makes a contradiction from the previous information.
Uh-huh.
This can help you understand what they are talking about.
Uh-huh.
What is the previous information?
The previous information is the previous of this idea.
What is the word but referring to in this case?
Is the contradiction of the line of the no.
Of the line that we what? Can you repeat?
I don't know, teacher.
Tell me. You didn't finish that idea.
Is a contradiction to the idea of the reporter?
Close. Yes, but not really. The reporter is giving just extra information.
Uh-huh.
The contradiction goes to the previous.
Yeah.
information. It was making more money than all the other apps.
Uh-huh.
Pokemon Go was very, very rich by this time,
Okay.
right?
Sí.
Let's listen again. With that information, you can listen. If you don't have that information, you're never going to catch the next information. You see? So it's important to connect everything. Let's go.
Launching last Wednesday, not even a full week.
But users didn't have to pay a cent for the game.
Same cent for the game.
So what? Can you repeat?
For the game.
Four?
For?
Four.
For sorry. For the
Yes,
game.
pronunciation. The game.
For the game.
Okay. Can you fix this sentence?
Sí. Have paid cent for the game.
Did users pay cent for the game?
No.
Because it's free, right?
Uh-huh.
Then find another form to say the game was free for users.
Have no paid.
Have no paid
No.
Spanish.
Have paid a cent.
Have paid a cent. So the app costs a cent.
No, it's free.
Exactly. So you're not saying the same.
But users have paid. Haven't paid.
Haven't paid. Haven't paid. If you say haven't paid, I'm gonna make a question. Since when?
Don't have paid.
Okay, close. Don't have paid. Don't have paid is also possible, but don't is for routines. Are we speaking in present or in past?
In past.
Past, because
Did
it
no.
was released.
Did not have paid.
Did not have paid. Analyze your answer. Can you say did have no to pay?
No.
No, we never say that. That's not English.
Haven't paid.
The same. Haven't paid since when?
Is the negative of the sentence, isn't it?
Okay.
But users hadn't have.
Ask yourself, because you insisted 4 times with haven't. You said haven't 4 times already.
No, hadn't have.
Anyway, hadn't or haven't. When do you use haven't? And when do you use haven't? Do you know when to use them?
Más o menos.
So in English.
So.
Then that's the first thing that is blocking you. We need to understand when American people use each structure. And this is something that I have told you before. You need to study your structures. Because structures can give you the full context of what American people are saying. If you use haven't, it's because you are speaking about experiences in your life, recent past, or periods of time. Which, yes, it is past, but it's not the past that we are speaking about in this case. There are 4 pasts in English, and we have seen this before. And when we saw perfect modals, past ones. Here. There are 4 ways to talk about past. Number 1, using the verb in past for finished actions. Number 2, referring to recent decisions. Recent decisions have. Number 3, referring to verbs that happened before another in the past. Auxiliary had. And the last one is using a modal verb plus have for regret, for things that we imagine from the past, you know. Do you remember this?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, do you remember?
So.
So is that a yes or a so? So tell me questions. You know, this information matches with this. To speak about past, we need to use structure number 5, auxiliary did. Or you can use the structure number 4, auxiliary be plus ing, but it past was where. You can also use the structure number 6, auxiliary have and has. You can also use structure number 8, had. And finally, you can also use past modals, which is structure number 10. So there are so many ways to speak about past. How do you know which one to use in this case?
I don't know.
Well,
Because they are talking about experiences. And
how do you know they're talking about experiences?
The user for the application.
How do you know they are talking about experiences?
Intuition.
Intuition? No, it cannot be intuition.
Because they are not paying for some. No, I don't know, but so it have no pay.
Okay, let me help you. You said after Pokemon Go was released in the US. This is a specific time. Okay. After Pokemon Go was released in the US. When was Pokemon Go released in the US? I don't know, 2014. That's a specific moment in the past. When we speak about specific moments in the past, we use structure number 4. No, 5. Number 5. Finished actions is specific past. Because we are talking about what happened when Pokemon Go was released. That's the reason we cannot use auxiliary have, but attention, auxiliary have.
But the verb.
Exactly, the verb is in the video. Your ears are telling you that he said have. Then what is The personal
But
subject.
user didn't have paid.
Good. Didn't. Excellent. Didn't have paid. Find the mistake.
Pay.
Very good. What is the correct form?
Pay. Paid. No.
Paid. This is paid.
Didn't have pay. P-A-Y.
Pay in present. Why?
Because you have the auxiliary in the past.
That's why. If you have the auxiliary in the past, if the verb have is in simple form. The principal verb here is have.
Have to pay.
Hallelujah. Have to pay.
Too hard.
Nah,
Too
it's not too
difficult.
hard. What you need to do is to start what's the word that I'm looking for? Elaborating. Do you know what is elaborate? No, but it's not like Spanish.
Yes.
Elaborate is not similar to do, eh? Elaborate is like justify. Do you remember what is justify? Okay, justify.
Justify. Yes, I know what is justify.
Okay, you need to start justifying why American people use these structures.
Okay.
Because you know the formulas, but you don't know why they use them. That's the reason it is difficult for you. It is not difficult. You are not associating the normal conversation of an American person.
Okay.
So, in order to justify why American people use the structures, you need to study the purple section.
Yes.
Similar to what happened to Isaac. When do American people use? When do American people use these structures? They use them when this happens. Got it?
Okay.
Got it. Got it. Study. So let's go to the next. Next. Jesse, you're going to guess the next part. Oh, wait. Sent is impossible. Sent is a countable noun. Jime, what do you need?
A.
Yes. Or A. What did you hear? Let's listen.
A.
After Pokemon's business model that in the past,
Any. Yes.
In revenue since launching last Wednesday, not even a full week.
but users didn't have to pay a cent for the game.
Have to pay.
You heard the have to pay now? Now you heard it. So,
A cent.
complete idea?
But user didn't have to pay a cent for a game. For the game.
Perfect. There you have it. Good. Jesse, you next.
All that money was coming from optional purchases people were making as they played.
I defend all the people. All the money was making. And that's it.
And that's all. Perfect. Okay. Second repetition. Okay. You found the first verb, which is making. That's right. Let's check the other.
Game. All that money was coming from optional purchases people were making as they played.
No, I am not sure. I am this time I listened other thing.
What did you hear?
After all the money, there are other words.
What word?
Oh, I'm not sure. I didn't understand.
No.
Optical, and the next word I think is play, but
Okay, well, I'm gonna help you with some information. Do you think the money was making something?
not
Possible,
really.
no?
Yeah.
Therefore, that's not the verb that corresponds to the money, but the video says making.
Mhm.
Therefore, you have another subject.
Yes.
You see? We need the verb that corresponds to the money and the second subject that corresponds to was making.
To the other. Okay.
Okay? Final repetition.
Game. All that money was coming from optional purchases people were making as they played.
Mhm. I think people was making.
Excellent. People was making. People was making. Find the mistake.
Um, I am not sure. The I think it's correct people with was, right? I am not sure.
Can you repeat that?
People with was, I think is correct.
Was is correct. Okay. Well, surprise, surprise. One person was, but two people
Okay,
were.
okay. Where? Yes.
Ah, that's the mistake. That's right. So
I
perfect.
was thinking people like person with was, right? Right now. With was is person. Person
Aha.
was making. Okay.
Correct. You are matching incorrectly. Is person
People.
was, people were. In present, person is, and people are.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes, I was thinking people still singular.
Ah, never, 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 never. There is an
Okay.
expression. Probably you have heard that. For example, if you say, "My friend Carol, she's a very nice people,"
Okay.
they say that, but that's an idiomatic expression. That's an exception.
Okay.
Okay? Whenever you hear that, or when you are a people person is another idiomatic expression. That's not related to the rule. The rule is singular person and plural people.
Okay.
Right? That's good. That's good. That's good. So you found the subject for the second verb. You need a verb for the first person. All the money. Okay? Let's listen.
All that money was coming from optional purchases people were making.
Was coming,
Exactly. All that money was coming. Correct.
but there the other word I didn't catch.
For that, you need to study your vocabulary.
Okay.
Oh yes, the vocabulary is right there. That's what we are going to do, okay? So let's interrupt for the moment, okay? Let's give a pause right now. For homework, please catch these final
Okay.
words, okay? Now, a little bit of an mission. Let me stop the recording.